There's a new flagship in the Kia Sorento range. This is the long-awaited Sorento PHEV, and it's officially the most expensive Kia to ever grace Australian roads. Question is it worth the premium over the rest of the award-winning Sorento range? Let's find out. The Sorento is a vehicle that needs little introduction. As the 2020 Car Sales Car of the Year and winner of multiple comparison tests, it sits at the pointy end of the 7-seat SUV ranks. Now, the fourth generation Sorento has entered the electric race with the release of a plug-in hybrid version. At $80,000 before on-road costs, the Sorento PHEV GT line adds a $15,000 premium over the equivalent diesel Sorento, creeping it well into European territory. A solitary tailgate badge and additional filler outlet are the only telltale styling cues from the outside, but underneath, the Sorento PHEV combines a 1.6-litre turbo petrol engine with an electric motor that is mounted under the second row seat. Combined outputs are listed at 195 kilowatts and 350 newton metres, while the on-paper fuel claim is listed at 1.6 litres per 100 k's. Inside the cabin, the PHEV shares all of the tinsel offered in the diesel-powered GT line Sorento, with excellent storage, Napa leather-appointed seats with first and second row heating, a digital instrument cluster, 10.25-inch touchscreen display, head-up display, and much more. Thankfully, the additional driveline hardware has only imposed a 12-litre penalty on boot space, pretty small in the scheme of things. The Sorento PHEV certainly feels like uncharted territory upon stepping away from the curbside, and that's because you do so in absolute silence. The electric motor takes up the initial slack upon pulling away, and it helps get you up to around town speed really quite seamlessly and effortlessly. I really like that the Sorento PHEV doesn't sound or feel like a science experiment either. There's no serious whirring at play from the electric motor. The brake pedal still has normal levels of modulation. It's not spongy or wooden in any way. And there's no real badging or giveaways either inside the car or outside to suggest you're in anything other than a normal Sorento, which I think is a real benefit at this point of proceedings. The hybrid is a civilised affair on road, with the petrol engine chiming in fairly benignly as required. The PHEV's older style 6-speed automatic transmission doesn't feel quite as polished as the 8-speed dual clutch fitted to the diesel version. Another downside is a 500 kilogram lower towing capacity. In any case, we managed to achieve up to 55 kilometres in pure electric range, marginally below the 67 kilometre claim. Now, of course, the fuel consumption here is purely hypothetical based on how much charge you've got, how far you're going, the type of driving that you're doing. I've done about 200 kilometres worth of driving so far during this test, and the magic fuel consumption figure I've arrived at is 5.5 litres per 100 k's. Obviously, the first 60 odd kilometres was all electric propulsion, and the PHEV felt really well, really up to the task in both open road and around town driving. And then it's been a mix of petrol power and electric power. I went to plug in this particular vehicle at a 50 kilowatt DC fast charger early today. It didn't have the compatible plug, so I've had to make use of the petrol engine. It's still been relatively efficient. In sole petrol driving, the fuel consumption figure has been about 10 litres per 100 k's in a mix of conditions. So obviously, to get the most efficiency from the Sorento PHEV, you need to make sure it has a full bank of charge. But even that said, petrol engine still makes light work of the curb weight. It doesn't feel flustered or overcome by the sheer size of the Sorento PHEV. And as you might be able to hear, it ambles away fairly quietly in the background. It doesn't feel underdone even without electric assistance. Charging the Sorento PHEV from a household power point takes about 3.5 hours. That time is pared back significantly with fast charging infrastructure. The Sorento also uses regen brakes to feed power back into the lithium-ion battery in certain driving scenarios. But unlike other electrified models, there is only one level of regen braking available. In every other respect, this feels as polished as the regular diesel-powered Sorento. It's still quiet on the open road, it still feels composed over bumps, really well controlled, and has a nice sporty demeanour to the way that it goes about its business. Do you feel the extra weight through the bends? You might notice a little bit more shimmying through corners, especially if you're making mid-corner adjustments, but really, for 90% of your driving, you're not really going to be penalised for the extra weight. It's all been packaged in a really smart and efficient manner. The scales suggest as much, with only a circa 70 kilogram penalty for the electrified drivetrain over the diesel-powered all-wheel drive equivalent. The Sorento cements its positioning with a full suite of standard safety technology and 7 airbags to ensure a 5-star NCAP rating. As far as safety criticisms go, the third-row airbags only offer protection around the glass area of the cabin, while some of the driver aids feel a little bit overzealous in their applications. Space and packaging is strong across the 3 rows, and like the regular Sorento, there's capacity for up to 5 child seats. A familiar 7-year factory warranty is standard. In terms of servicing, the PHEV model features shorter 10,000 kilometre intervals compared with other Sorento models. Over a 7-year term, it will set buyers back an additional $1,440 compared with the existing diesel. So then, the Kia Sorento PHEV, does it extend the appeal of the regular award-winning Sorento? Well, for me, given the pricing premium and the fact that you lose some of its towing capability, I'd say probably not. But if this is a sign of things to come for the Sorento range, well, there's a lot to be excited about.